Welcome, everyone. This is the new house. We've got what might be the quickest college basketball show that we've had here. Jake is now with us. Cousin Jared's now with us. We were trying to prevent this, but it is 2 a.m. as I'm recording this show. And unfortunately, both of my co-hosts have 9-to-5 jobs, and so they need to get some rest. Again, this is what I do for a living. So I'll rest whenever I rest because my life is this industry picks with the professor. That's me. I'm the professor. So we're going to talk some college basketball, but it might be the quickest show we've ever had because we're early in the season and we don't know a lot about the teams. I haven't seen any of these teams play yet. Obviously, I haven't watched any of their secret scrimmages or whatever. I'm a Baylor alum, so when we get to the extended cut, we'll talk about that. But I don't even know most of the players on the team at this point. Right now, we're basing our picks off what the model is saying, based off of the players. It's a player-based model that tends to do really well early in the season. We went 2-1 on the show picks yesterday. Play of the day was looking great as St. Francis was down 21 with about 3 minutes to go. We got 29 with them, and somehow they lost by 31. They got outscored 10-zip in the last under 3 minutes. UCLA makes a layup with 8 seconds to go. I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. And that's why we're going to stick more to Money Line picks. We're going to continue to gear that direction more so than day one was. We've mentioned this, been talking about it. Just changing those thresholds, just making sure we're more and more and more on money lines. We got 3 money line picks here today, and I'm expecting really good things from this slate. It's a small slate, but I really like the 3 picks. But since we haven't seen them, I don't have a lot to talk about. I just kind of have the metrics, and usually a solo show like this, if it's baseball, I know baseball really well. I know the players, seen them all before we talk about that. You can talk about the metrics, but now that I'm just playing them on screen, it kind of just is what it is. So we'll get started. Again, this might be insanely quick, but we will have an extended cut where we don't have, an A-grade pick on Auburn, Baylor, but we do have some insight for you on that game and the play of the day because there's not a lot happening. We'll go ahead and just talk about it here on show. Again, if you're with us on Dub Club, you get that play of the day. You can also join up at Black Book Sports and get just the play of the day if that's all you're interested for a little bit cheaper of a price. Otherwise, so Dub Club under $1 a day. Get you access to the Discord. It's a great community of people always talking to each other, giving each other picks for sports that we cover and don't cover. Looking out for each other with regards to the boosts that some of the sports books offer. It's a great place to be. And the Discord, again, can only be accessed through Dub Club. So sign up link for Dub Club in the show description. Here you're getting a lot of great content with all the college football, NFL, and college basketball stuff happening right now if you're with us for that extended cut. Otherwise, though, we've got these 3 picks here all on the money line. And again, I'm liking what we've got here. 6:30 p.m. Drexel, Salle. Again, not a ton to talk about here other than the fact that the model views these 2 teams as pretty similar. Drexel might be slightly better, but the market views Drexel as the much better team in this case. This is a game at LaSalle, and the model thinks that LaSalle should be favored. They should be, they win this 57% of the time. They should be small favorites, not huge favorites, small favorites, because the only slightly better team is the road team. But given the fact that they're road favorites, the market views Drexel as much better. And I'm just not sure that's the case. Both of these teams are better defensively than offensively. It may not be pretty basketball. It's one of your early tip-offs, though. Here, unfortunately, we have no day basketball on Tuesday. But we've got LaSalle here at plus 105 plus odds on a wrong team favored game. These have been our bread and butter, have done so well for us in all sports. We love us these wrong team favored games, and that's what the model thinks here. So plus odds at LaSalle, even at something like even money, is still a pretty good pick. A-grade threshold on this, if I remember correctly, is a little bit higher than this, more in the plus 110, plus 111, that type of range. So we're about a little over a nickel away from that. Who knows where the number goes by the time you watch this. But as long as you are getting anything that is minus 115 or better, the model views as B-grade value, and definitely think minus 115 or better is worth a play. So plus 105, I'm absolutely all over this as a strong B-grade pick to lead us off. 2 teams that aren't very good. Who knows what's going to happen? Plus odds, worth the pick. 8 p.m. Eastern, Northern Iowa and North Texas. North Texas, again, in my former backyard. We're still kind of in and out of Denton, of course. But interesting note, the new North Texas coach actually did look at our house when we sold it to move into. He didn't buy our house. Someone else did. But I thought that's always something that's interesting. Of course, their head coach moving on to bigger and better things, so getting a new guy. We don't know if they're going to play exactly as slow as they did last year, but last year they were a really great defensive team that also played slower than a snail. We don't know exactly what style that will be, but they still should have a strong defensive identity. These two offenses are pretty similar, but the defenses are where this game is different. Northern Iowa, subpar defense. North Texas, a great one. I think this North Texas team should look pretty similar to last year's team that made one of the postseason tournaments. I think it was the NIT. Kind of a similar setup as where we think they'll be this year. Obviously, anything can happen. They could make the NCAAs as they did, I believe, the year before last, or maybe the one before that, but they've been there recently. It could be the similar setup with, a decently talented team. If not, they should be in contention for something like the NIT, as they're a good, not great team, just much better than Northern Iowa at home. Model gives them a 77% chance to win. So we're going to take North Texas at minus 190. It's an A grade. We always talk, about we love our plus odds, but we love short minus odds when the team should be even favored by even more. And that's this case. This number should be out a lot higher according to Sideline, more in the minus 300 range. Anything minus 271 or better gets a B grade. And really anything that starts with 1 gets you the A grade. Minus 200 would still eke into an A grade territory depending on what number you're shopping at, what book you're at here. But minus 190, minus 200, A grade pick on North Texas. Just think they're a much better team. And they aren't a lock to win. They're not guaranteed to win, but they are much more likely to win than lose. They should win this about 3 out of 4 times. So this is a pretty good price to invest in. And the late night game here at 10 p.m. Eastern, UC Irvine and San Jose State. I've watched a lot of UC Irvine over the years, watching, late night games, some of the ones that are on some of your streaming networks, or on occasion, an ESPNU or something like that. And Irvine's been a pretty good Big West team. They don't shape up to be quite as good this year. Solid for sure, but not a team that appears to be quite as dangerous. San Jose State, I kind of say the same thing. Both just of these teams seem pretty solid. Neither one of them seems great. But the game being at San Jose State is really a difference maker on this one. And the market clearly views Irvine as the better team. The model sees them as pretty similar. So minus 102 is a B grade pick, where San Jose State should win this approximately 59% of the time. One of the things that we have with these win probabilities is they are adjusted based off of the total number of expected points. And this is a game that we're expecting. All 3 of these games we're covering today, we're expecting fewer than average points. There's kind of a slowish team in each one. On Drexel in the first one. We expect UNT to be still relatively slow, even if they're not quite as slow as last year. And in this one, San Jose State. And when you're talking about a slower, lower scoring game, that tends to make every point more valuable. So if the model thinks you should be 3, 4 or 5, whatever, North Texas gains up to 9-point favorites. That does increase the chance you win a little bit more, versus if you're in a higher scoring game, we're expecting a lot more points. It may be a little bit less likely you win, just because of the fact that, crazier things can happen. And so in that regard, the model thinks in a lower scoring game, it's just going to be harder for Irvine to score enough points. They want to play a little bit faster, but San Jose State at home we think should be able to control the tempo. The home team tends to have a better chance of doing that and playing San Jose State's style of game. At 60% likely to win, almost makes minus 102 a B grade pick, almost an A grade. It's B plus, even money would be an A grade pick here. Anything minus 127 or better gets in the B grade. So unless this number moves a ton, you're looking at a solid B grade pick. And if you get anything into plus odds, you're really looking at A grade value there. So there's a recap of those 3 shows. Again, we're going to talk about the Auburn Baylor game, and we're going to talk about the play of the day. If you're with us on Dub Club, you have that special link to watch the extended cut version of the show. And hopefully we'll see you after the music.